up. Okay, now bring up our educational headliner for tonight, and that will be firstly Gotuaco. I probably butchered that name. And firstly, is an executive speech coach who has been teaching theatre and speech for over 30 years. He has been an educational leader, trainer of trainers, and a TEDx speaker and coach. He is also a six-time district champion, winning in districts 25, 85, and 128, evaluation, table topics, and international speech contest events. And in August of 2020, he won District 25's Toastmaster of the Year. He has reached the semi-finals of the World Championship of Public Speaking three times and the finals twice. So, kick it off. Welcome, Fursey.
Thank you very much. Find you're funny. Man, this is a stressful situation when everybody's expecting you to be funny. Not only that, but you've been listening to funny and expecting funny for a very long time. So I thought, let's not talk about what makes things normally funny. Instead, we'll talk about new things that could possibly make us funny. You know, things that. What are you laughing at? Yeah, okay. Things that make us funny in our storytelling. How do we find funny in high impact storytelling? You know, things like the visuals. It's all about the visuals, right? What makes us funny when it's visual? Now, a lot of people misinterpret this. A lot of people have been saying, I'm not sure that he would really do that. And it's true. Yes. Yes, Sue. We all thought, oh my gosh. Right? So don't get caught up in the visuals. But aren't visuals funny though? Especially this visual, the biggest visual you've got. So we're going to be warming up today with our facial expressions. So if you've got your camera on, we're going to go ahead and warm up our face. If you don't have your camera on, you ought to go ahead and join us. And whoever's in charge of taking pictures, this is the one that you want to do. Now, I've got some warm up music for us, okay? We got some warm up music. Here we go. Thank you, Francine. I hope you can hear this. All right, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Would you please give me this warm up picture? Give me this. There you go. There you go, improv man. There you go, Tom. Okay, and now this one. There you go. Very good, Rosemary. Now I know I have an advantage because I've got the right hair, but it's okay. You can play too. Here we go, Sue. Just for you. Oh, that's a good tongue. That's a good tongue there, Rajiv. Okay, here you go. Oh, oh. And then this one. William, you're cheating. That's good, Paula. That's good. And then there you go, Marjane. Oh yeah. Here you go. Eyeballs. Eyeballs. Can't see you because I'm looking up at the ceiling and my cat is gonna jump on me. There you go. There you go. All right. And how about this one? There you go. There you go. That's good, Adam. That's good, Adam. I love it, Melanie. Love it. Excellent. Well, I appreciate all of you playing along with me. Just to get ourselves warmed up, Susan, we have to do this, right? We have to warm up our face. We have to get ready. So let's move on with what it is that we need to use these for. It's important to talk about storytelling. When we talk about storytelling, we're going to get it down to the three C's. character, conflict, and constipation. Now that's not true. That's not true. I'm sorry. It's not constipation. I just couldn't come up with another. I couldn't come up with another C word. So I just, I got stopped up. That's terrible, wasn't it? I'm sure there's got to be somebody out there rating humor. Like, that's bad humor. That's low hanging fruit. We're not going to laugh at that. We're the funny people. We're not laughing at that cheap joke stuff. You got to get better. What's the score on the game? No, I'm sorry. I'm focused. I'm totally focused, William. Believe me. Whoa. Okay. Here we go. No, storytelling. It's about plot, character, and conflict. Most of us know this. If you don't, we don't have time because I only have 15 minutes. So we're going to keep moving along. Here's the basic plot line. Yes? Here's the basic plot line: status quo, inciting incident, climax, resolution. Basic, basic, basic. But now here's the new thing about it. Here's what I want you to think about: the pivot point. Where does it shift? That's often where you can mine the humor. Where does it shift? Where do things change when we're telling the story? Also, where do things change as we're delivering a punchline? Oftentimes, that change from the expectation is what makes humor, and how our facials express those emotions or those thoughts. That's what's going to give us some funny. So let's take a look at where there are pivot points. This was the one I showed you a second ago. And you'll notice at those places where it shifts, that's the pivot point. Now, you notice I paused there, right? When delivering a presentation, it is very hard for people to see a new slide and listen to a bald guy at the same time. I've learned this being bald, so you just have to stop. There you go. There you go, Tom. You know what I'm talking about, baby. So what you want to do is at those pivot points, make sure that the audience is with you on the joke. Sometimes you've got to slow down to make sure that they're with you. Sometimes you've got to put a pause before, or you put a pause after. You've got to make sure that your face is ready to show that there's a shift in the direction, to make sure that we are with you. And so we have pivot points and we have facial expressions that go along with it. Yeah? So go ahead and think about, I know everyone right now is going, wait a minute, how's he doing that? Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't get distracted by shiny objects. That's actually why I shaved my head, just so I could stay the shiniest object. Some people get very distracted by shiny objects. Woohoo! So what you want to do is consider those pivot points in your storytelling. Those pivot points in your storytelling. It starts out with status quo. Yes, it starts out with status quo. And status quo in Latin means, anybody know Latin? I know it's a dead language, right? You haven't found anyone to talk to. Okay, so it's a horrible joke. Don't laugh at that, Tom. Come on, man. I expect more from you. A guy with a good-looking hat like that cannot be laughing at such cheap jokes. Linda knows. Linda's like, I'm not laughing at that. I'm waiting for something truly funny. I'm waiting for something funny, like exploding ketchup. Okay, so what you want to do is status quo, things are normal. Things are normal. So we start out normal. That way you have a place to build to. If you start out too high, it's hard to get anywhere. Start out normal. I know, just being normal, that's difficult for people like me. Everybody else, you're okay, but me, it's like, ugh. All right. So Vanessa, we start out normal and then the inciting incident. And remember that in the hero story, the inciting incident, we don't necessarily want to go. we don't necessarily want to do it. So it's, oh no, I didn't want to do that. How do you show that your hero, that's you, your hero does not want to do these things? Yeah, I didn't want to do it. Could everyone go ahead and try to give me that face again? Oh no, oh no. Yeah, usually the eyebrows go up. I know it's easier for me to see, right? Because there's nothing else above it, right? But oh, there you go. There you go. I like that, Marjane. And then when we get to the inciting incident, we move forward and we run into conflict. We run into conflict. Now, everyone remembers what the 4 conflicts are, right? The 4 traditional conflicts dating all the way back to the Greek. It would appear they had a lot of conflict back there. Man versus man, yes. What's another one?
Man
Linda,
with
I know you said it. Out of that, or you were just rooting for the Chiefs. What was it, Linda? What's the second? What's another one, Linda? Man versus man.
Man versus machine.
Okay, man. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, it could be man versus society, man versus machine. What's a third one?
Man versus animal?
No. Actually, they sort of put that with nature. Man
Man
versus
versus
nature.
man versus woman.
True. And man versus woman was in there, but they had to take that one away at the same time that they took away man versus mother-in-law. I know, especially at Thanksgiving, that conflict with right man versus himself.
Yep.
Yes, I know all of you forgot that because that's like a really serious one. Man versus himself is very serious, and this is just for funny. So we can't have man. No. Man versus himself is a fun one, and oftentimes humor, at least in theater, harder to do in speech, but in theater, humor, comedy, is somebody going through extremely arduous obstacles to achieve a very small objective. Yeah? In tragedy, in drama, we have very high stakes. In comedy, dude, relax, low stakes, but you're going through incredibly arduous things. And that's why man versus himself doesn't usually fall into that, but it is there for you to play with. So we look through these conflicts and we have the purple, the evil man. Can we go ahead and show us your facial expressions for that? When you're facing conflict. There you go. That's good. That's good. Yes. A little head rolling would be good too. It's amazing because when we do our facial expressions, of course, it's our head, right? But we forget there's a lot of other things going on there too. We tend to stay right here when we speak, but you'll find, let me angle this down. Don't worry, Tom, I got pants on. What I want to show you is that you have all these other parts of your body, not just your face. So do this with me, everyone. Would you go ahead and raise your shoulders up like this? Just warm up. Yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3, and down. And one more. Up. 1, 2, 3, and down. Good. And one more, just to relax. Up. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Koki? Is it Koki? Did you all notice how good Koki does that? Yeah. That's because when Koki was going through math class, they'd go, Koki, what's the answer? Koki'd be like, I don't know. Okay, so these are just things that we do when we're warming up. Excellent. It's amazing what we can do with our shoulders to show characters. If you're going to have a villain in your story, you can make your villain funny by creating, okay, where is it? Right? The neighbor that you don't like, the teacher you didn't like, we can create all kinds of character simply moving our shoulders or our heads. Watch. Tilt your head forward. Tilt your head to the side. Tilt your head to the side. Look at 45 degrees. Now look forward. Oh, really? Yes, we don't have to tilt all the way to 90 degrees. We don't have to turn all the way to 90 degrees. We can simply turn it 45 and look off. So when we are telling our stories, realize that you do have a villain sometimes, and that villain can be very funny. And then, of course, you get to the climactic point of your story. Everyone, show me this one. Give me the climactic one. That's the eyebrow. Yes. Yes, I have conquered. Oh, that's good. Sort of a Popeye there. Excellent. Very good. And of course, the end where you get the resolution, the very happy starstruck. Can everyone give me that? Excellent. Masters of storytelling are masters of being able to be funny. We can find those different characters in our stories and pronounce them and bring them out, find those turning points, because those are the turning points of significance. And those are the points where we want our audience to plug in with us, those moments of significance within our stories. Hope this works for you. Hope you found it funny. Do we have snacks today, by the way? Do we have snacks? Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Fursey. And I think we went into a little bit of overtime for that one, but we moving on to the next quarter. And now for the first matchup, we have our first speaker who will be Linda Amrath on the offense, and on the